Hey nerds, what's up? SPFBO 7 just started, and I want to talk to you guys today about how I'm going to be judging some of them in the first round and what books I'm excited to see and read more about. So I'll see you after the jump. So if you don't know what SPFBO is, you can check out a video I filmed recently about the competition and what it's all about. Basically, it's for indie authors to get more exposure and to get out there. And I'm really excited for this new competition. This year, I really want to read all 10 of the finalists and kind of have my own scoring and judging to see which one I think reigns supreme. This year, I was hoping to participate in SPFBO as a judge, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. So I was super excited when Booknest contacted me and asked if I wanted to be one of their guest judges for their first round of the competition. I'm sure you guys have heard of Booknest. It is a huge fantasy blog where they talk all things fantasy, so I was super honored and excited that they invited me to be a part of their judging. SPFBO only has 10 judges, or 10 groups of judges. A lot of them are blogs who have a cohort of people, but each blog gets 30 books, which is obviously a lot to go through in the beginning. So Booknest gets 5 guest judges to read 6 books each and put forth a single semi-finalist that our main reviewers in the Booknest will read and then offer forward a single finalist to be entered in the competition. So since I'm involved, I will get 6 books to read and judge and get to choose a semi-finalist for Booknest to choose their finalist from. So I'm super excited that I get to be involved in SPFBO in this way this year. So I already know my 6 books, so I'm going to show you guys what books you can expect for me to be reading in the coming months. I probably will get these all done this summer. The deadline is somewhere in September, but I think I will probably read 2 a month and do June, July, and August. So here are the books that are in my reading list. I have The Stars Within by Lena Knight, The Fire in the Glass by Jacqueline Benson, Shimmer Dark by Sarah Mancinga, A Handful of Souls by Stephen Rice, Restoration Day by Deborah Makarios, and Sario's Claw by Virginia McLean. Obviously, I didn't read the backs of any of these because that's just how I do it. I like to go in totally blind, so I don't know anything about these books so far, but I'm very excited to read them. I did look at all of their covers though, which is a very fun thing to do, and the 2 that really have stood out to me so far are Sario's Claws and A Fire in the Glass. These covers are just both so good immediately. I'm always a huge sucker for a stained glass cover, so Sario's Claw really stands out to me. It kind of, not like this, but like I've always liked the stained glass versions of the Warbreaker covers. I don't know which country it is that has those, but they're very cool, and this kind of gave me those vibes, so I really like that. Very graphic. And then A Fire in the Glass is actually interesting because I usually don't like reds in my covers, even though I know that is like supposedly the good color in a book. I usually prefer cool tones and blue tones, but something about this cover, A Fire in the Glass, just really draws me in. It's kind of alluring, this, face with the hair that looks like fire and kind of the white text. I don't know, I really like it. So I'm pretty excited about those. And actually, these 2 covers are 2 of my favorites in the entire 300 of the competition. Like, I went through all 300 covers, and I'm going to share some of my favorites next. But the fact that these 2 that are in my group are 2 of my favorites out of all 300 excites me even more. So but I'm super excited to dig into all of them. So obviously with 300 books, we can't really go through and read all the synopsis and see which ones we're excited for. So I just went through and looked at all the covers. I wanted to see which covers are my favorite first, kind of which did a first impression. My husband actually made a quick website that has all of the books sorted by judging group and has all of their covers. So if you want to do this too and look at all the covers, you can check out that website. I'll link it below. It just helped me look at all of them quickly and kind of see which ones stood out to me. It also has the link to all of them if you're interested in buying any of them, and says which ones are on Kindle Limited, which is kind of helpful. So if you want to go through and tell me which your favorite covers are, please tell me below. These were the covers I noticed. The first one I noticed was Echoes of a Storm. I don't know, I really like this cover, the kind of blue and yellow and the moon, just very somber looking. I would guess that it would be a somber book from this cover, but I really liked it. It stood out to me. 12 Jackals is the next one that stood out to me. I just really love the color composition in this one. There's something so cool and peaceful about it. Just kind of the way there's a touch of red, but it's a lot of turquoise. I really liked the color story in this one. Next one I thought was interesting was Order of the Magi. This one's interesting. I think it looks a little bit maybe more like a cartoon cover or like a movie cover than a book book cover, but I like the image itself. Again, the image itself, which is very dreamy and cloud-like, and I don't know. I feel like this maybe will be a polarizing cover, but I really enjoy the nature of it, and I don't know how I'm sold about the text on it being kind of squished like that, but it stands out. Like, I look at this cover and it stands out to me. Bird Red Skies was the next one I liked a lot. Again, very graphic cover. I'm very into graphic, geometric covers. It stuck out to me. I really like it, just the way they did it. I also particularly like this font. I'm pretty picky about fonts, so a lot of the covers I like, sometimes their fonts bother me. I really like the choice of this font, which probably was important because it takes up so much of the cover, but yeah, I really like the font choice. Gunmetal Gods is the next one that stood out, which weirdly enough is another font choice that I just love. I love the O and the gods. It really gives you a sense of what the story probably is gonna feel like. And again, does really well with the reds that I don't usually like, but that red and turquoise, again, just, it had a strong feeling. I feel like when I look at this book, not only does it look professional, but I have an idea of what it's gonna be about. Okay, this next cover is maybe my favorite in the competition. It's hard to say, there's a lot of good ones, but To Dream and Die as a Taniwa Girl is just, so good. The cut paper look. I also just love the title, To Dream and Die as a Taniwa Girl. Like, the whole thing is just so alluring. I'm a big title sucker, so that title combined with the cover, the way the water's coming out of the woman's mouth, like, I just really, really like it. And in fact, I'm not surprised I like this one. This book is by Benedict Patrick, who had a book in the competition last year, whose cover I was obsessed with. In fact, I actually have it. I'm gonna go grab it. It's The Flight of the Dark Star Dragon. Like, look at this cover. Just the circular nature of it with the title in the middle. Oh man, I love it so much. But I love his ones this year too. Like, he just does a really good eye. I'm sure he probably hires someone. I could go look at what his cover artist is, but whatever it is, I just love the aesthetic he has. Like, every book so far that I've seen of his is just something I want to buy just simply because of the way it looks. So I love his new cover as well. Last one I'm going to talk about is A World Broken. This is another one where I really like the font and the way the font plays together. You know, it takes some extra work to make letters flow together like that. And just the ethereal feel of this cover, the way the tree is kind of fuzzy and very kind of impressionistic. I mean, not like technically, but it gives me that vibe. I just like how it works together and it really draws me in. Now, I will say the covers this year actually blew me away. When I was trying to look for about 9 or 10 that I wanted to share, I found it very hard. Like, I had a million Amazon tabs open and I slowly was cutting back because there are so many good covers this year. I highly recommend you just go look. Like, I think the cover competition this year is going to be one of the hardest yet. People are really stepping up their games and these books look so professional. So I'd be interested to see which ones you like the best, because I had a lot that just almost made the cut, but I didn't want to talk about like 50 on here. Another book I have to mention just for pure curiosity is the book called Bad Cow. I love a bold, brave title, and a title like Bad Cow. Just, what is this book about? I'm curious. I'm definitely going to go look into it. I don't want to spoil any book things, so I'm not going to talk about what it is, but I'm going to go read the back of that because it's kind of like the other self-published I read called Midlich Crisis. Literally knew nothing about what that book was about. I just thought, if someone's brave enough to title their book that, I want to read it. That's kind of how I feel about Bad Cow, so I just had to give a shout out to that one. There's also 2 books that are in SPFBO this year that I've previously read and reviewed, which are The Winds of Strife by Yuji Gutman and The Thunder Heist by Jed Kern. Both books which I liked, so I'll be keeping an eye on those. I hope they do well. I'm really rooting for them, so I'm excited to see them in there. So I want to know, are you going to be following along on SPFBO 7 this year? I know a few of you in my last video said you wanted to read all of the finalists this year. So if that's going to be you, let me know below because I want to do that with you. Let me know if you're going to be reading any of the books in this stage, which ones jumped out to you or which ones you've already read, and let me know if you think they have a good chance in the competition. I just want to hear all of your thoughts now that we have all 300 contestants in. I am so excited and most excited to actually get to be a part of the judging this year. So I will be releasing reviews on those 6 books as I read them, and then once I've read all 6 of them, I will make a video talking about my pick for semi-finalist. So I'm very, very excited for that. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and if you want to see what I'm currently reading and other nerdy rants, you can follow me on Instagram at bookborn.reviews. I'll see you next time. Bye.